Welcome to session 1, MartialBody Primer, and this session we're going to be looking at the heavy body attribute. So I just want you to start with a standing assessment, run the mind through the body, and understand where you are. Then we're going to set the frame up. So move the body around, find the center points of the feet, find out where the position of the spine is. Move the body around and set the frame up so that you're nice and centered, ready for all the different training that we're going to do in this course. Make sure the shoulders are in the center of the body. Head is in the right place. And we're going to go into breath-led release. So what I want you to do here is every out breath, release as much tension from the body as you can without actually slumping or letting the actual structure of the body change at all. So release with every out breath down into the earth. Feel the tissues of the body releasing around the bones, but maintain that frame that you just set up. So we don't want to sag or change position, just release any tension that you can feel. Now we're going to move into extended breath-led release. So I want you to reach your hands up to like you're pointing at the corners of the room that you're in. If you're outside, it's 45 degrees up, out from the body. Extend as much as you can. So we want to be nice and taut in the body, not tense, just extended. And then within that extension, every out breath, we're going to release. So again, we're not going to move the body at all. Keep it extended. But every time you breathe out, release down into the earth. Feel that even when you have extension in the body, you're able to release and use the breathing to do so. Keep going, extend as much as possible, but inside of that extension, relax and sink. And we're nearly ready to finish, so focus your mind, relax, sink, and release the arms. Now just stand for a second there and then raise the hands back up, and we're going to go into spine hang and sway. So lead down the center of the body, hang from the hips. Make sure that you're not trying to stretch your hamstrings out. That's not the point of this drill. So let the knees be soft and bent, and make the head a weight that hangs from the spine. And we just start to sway side to side. You'll notice that I'm crossing my arms here because it gets them out of the way, but you can equally keep your hands on the floor. That's absolutely fine. And now we're going to start to uncoil. So starting right down at the coccyx, imagine stacking each of your vertebrae on top of each other. The very last thing to come up is the head. So the chin should be on the chest at this point, and then the head comes up as the last thing. Extend through the very top of the head and stretch the spine upwards. And we go again. Hands come up, lead down the center line, down the insides of the legs. Head is heavy, and let it hang from the hips. Now sometimes you can hold a bit of tension in the abdomen here, so if that's the case, try and breathe out and release that tension. Remember, the head is a weight at the end of the spine, so you want to feel that the whole spine is opening up. And begin to swing side to side again. The head is like a pendulum here at the end of the spine. Nice and soft and relaxed. Continue to breathe. Move the body around a little bit. Sway the body. And relax the whole back. Then we're going to come up again. Start the coccyx and begin to move up through the spine. So up through the lumbar spine is the first one to uncoil, then thoracic, and then finally the head is the last thing to come up. So the neck straightens right at the end. We're going to go one more time. Reach, lead down the center line, down the insides of the legs, and hang. Remember, we're not trying to stretch the hamstrings out here. We just want to hang from the hips. Start your sway back and forth. Head is a pendulum at the end of the spine. Move around a little bit and we'll begin our straightening up. So again, start right down at the coccyx. Lower back is the first to uncoil, then the mid, working our way progressively up the back until the neck, and then the head is the last thing to come up. Now I just want you to stand here for a moment and feel the body, and then we're going to move into the next method, the axis swing. So I want you to imagine that you're throwing something forward over your head, and at the top of the swing we're opening upwards and extending the body, and once you've thrown the thing forward, you squat very slightly, the butt goes back a little bit, and the hips close. So this is like a pump. Open up and close down in that vertical plane. Make sure the shoulders are as soft as you can make them, and the elbows and the wrists. You want to feel the weight of the method as you perform it. Feel the weight in the arms, the hands are filling up. Feel that when you throw that imaginary ball or whatever it is forwards, the weight in the hips is sinking back and down. Remember to breathe. Don't hold your breath. Don't try to time your breath with the movement. Just let the posture breathe for you. Whatever your body wants to do, let that be the breath cycle. Remember, nice and relaxed in the shoulders especially. Nearly finished. Keep going. And relax. Now just stand for a moment and feel the weight of the limbs. You should feel that the limbs feel a little bit heavier now, and everything feels a little bit more soft, like you feel your feet are heavy on the earth. And now we're going to move into the round body swing. Okay, so feet a little bit wider, and we start to turn side to side. Keep the shoulders completely relaxed and just let the movement of the body turning side to side force the arms to swing out. The arms are not swinging out themselves, the body turning is making them swing out. Now we're not moving our weight into the leg at this point, we're just turning on an axis. So if you were to draw a line between the top of my head and my coccyx at the base of my spine, you'd see that that line basically stays where it is. We're just turning on that, around that axis. Focus on relaxing the shoulders, the elbows, the hands, the wrists. Focus on that rotation around the central axis. the round body swing. Keep going. If it feels a little bit robotic, then you're probably holding some tension in the shoulders. So take a big in breath and a big out breath and release as you do it. And then carry on breathing naturally. And we're going to wind this down in a moment. Keep going for the moment. And start to wind down. And just stand there for a second. You can move your feet around if you want to. Now we're going to go into the same method, but this time we're going to drop the weight in through the leg as we swing to that side. So what I want you to do is just start normally as we were just doing, and then we start to move the weight. So you see I'm moving the weight now into the leg, and you want to feel that as you swing, that the weight and momentum of that swing drops straight through the leg into the floor. A very clear feeling of the weight dropping through the leg as we move over it. So stay nice and soft, but feel that weight dropping through the leg as you move side to side. Should be a very clear feeling. And the more you do this, the more you'll feel that ability to drop the weight through the foot. Very powerful method. Start to slow down, come to a halt, and just stand for a moment. Again, feel the weight in the limbs. You should really feel that now. Before we move into the running swing. So here the feet are a little bit closer together, and we're going to start like we're running along, okay? Hands moving up the center line of the body. And I want you to feel like you're throwing something forward. And as the hand retreats backwards and forwards, it's actually swinging through momentum. The weight of the limb is actually helping to fuel the swing forwards. We're also turning the body, as you can see there, side to side. Those of you with the working center toolkit will notice that the working center, the center of the abdomen, is moving side to side here. It's part of this method. But we want to feel this heaviness in the limb again, this sinking. Every time we try to throw forwards, we're sinking down through the legs. The legs can feel super heavy in this instance. Shoulders and arms and elbows all nice and relaxed. And make the breathing completely natural. Don't try to time it with your swings. Alright, start to wind down, come to a halt again, and just pay attention to the weight in the limbs. You should feel really heavy now. You should feel a noticeable difference in the structure. Okay, so we're going to move into flapping wing swing now. Feet just over shoulder width apart. Open the hands up to the side and let them fall. Now as you let them fall, drop the hips. So you're making a little bit of a movement down with the hips at the same time that the arms are falling from the side and crossing in front of the body. You'll notice that my arms are alternating sides, which one's in front. And as the arms go up, try and feel like you're opening the rib cage. That's opening up, and then you just relax, everything falls. So that downward direction in this swing is extremely powerful. The whole body's sinking, as well as the arms, all timed together. And it feels super heavy if you put your arm in the way. Very powerful. Keep going. Relax and make sure that there's no tension in the shoulders or in the body as you do this method. It should be just a strong sinking sensation. And relax, come to a halt. Okay, again, we can stand now for a moment, just feel the weight in the body before we move ourselves onto forwards and backwards rolling. So you're going to need to jump onto the floor now. Down you go. And once on the floor, just relax. Feel like you're sinking into the earth. Get used to that feeling of sinking. So all of the tissue feels like it's melting away down into the earth now. And then we're going to begin this forwards and backwards rolling. So make sure the hands are above the head and you lead with the feet. Try not to use too much momentum. Over you go, and then back to your back. So you're going to lead with the feet, lead over the side of the head. As soon as you get to your front, you're going to roll back, forward roll, back down onto the floor. And again. And back the other way. Once you've done a roll, you can actually move yourself around a bit and find out if there's any tension. Normally, if it's hard to roll without momentum, it's going to be because you're holding tension in the abdomen. So you can use the out breath as you try to roll backwards, and that can sometimes help. So as you roll backwards, you take a big out breath, and that will help you. Okay, one more. And then we're going to look at lying down release. So what I want you to do is every out breath, focus on releasing tension down into the earth. Close your eyes and feel that tension melt down. And what we're going to do next is tense both of the arms on one in breath. So as we breathe in, I want you to tense both of your arms up as strongly as you can. Everything else in the body is completely relaxed. And continue to breathe whilst holding that tension. Feel the tension strongly in the arms, and then we're going to make one out breath and release down into the earth. Feel that tension drain away into the earth. And then we're going to do the same with the legs. So on the next in breath, I want you to tense the legs up. Fully tense every muscle in the legs, your quads, your calves, everything. Everything else though is completely relaxed. And then we're going to, next out breath, release. Feel all that tension you were just holding melt away. Next in breath, we're going to tense the whole body. So arms, legs, and the torso, but leave the shoulders and the neck and the head all relaxed. Hold, and then the next out breath, release. Now feel that sink down into the earth, all that tension that you just released from the body. In your own time, you can now stand up. Take your time standing up, and we finish with the standing assessment. Run your mind through your body. Feel the difference between the start of the session and how the body feels now.